Hello, fellow restaurant owners, restaurant managers, entrepreneurs out there, people in the restaurant world, people that want to enter the restaurant world. Marcus here. Sorry, my voice is off. Out for a couple days, my voice, hoping to get it back full effect soon because I got lots to say, lots of videos to catch up on. Building a new funnel for all of our courses and everything. But this video's topic is how to maximize your profits on your wine list. I had two conversations this week, one with a very well-known wine expert from New York that has built a brand on New York wines. And I just had a conversation on a forum right now for restaurant owners, managers, bar owners about how to maximize profits. So I want to share with you what I've learned in the wine world over the last 20 plus years, 25 years. First of all, I started learning about wine when I was 19 or 20 years old. I wasn't legal to drink yet, and I went to the garbage every night at the Greenbrier Resort in West Virginia, where I was a chef apprentice, and I wanted to learn about wine, but I couldn't drink wine yet. So I went to the garbage and I pulled out bottles, and the sommelier, the wine captain, would help me decipher and read the labels of all the wines. That's how I learned to read what was in the bottle. It wasn't until I worked at the Broadmoor in Colorado Springs when I was over 21, where the wine captain every night brought me a taste of wine. I tasted it, and it was a blind tasting, and I would describe what I was tasting and then match it up with the grape varietal. So I learned wine from a very young age, and I was inspired by meeting Kevin Zrelly, the author of Windows in the World Wine Course, Windows in the World Wine Book, and of course the founder of Windows in the World Wine. And he said, Marcus, I was 19 years old at the time. He goes, Marcus, learn wine. It's the future of this industry. If you learn wine, you'll easily increase your salary $10,000 one day, very easily. And that is so true. So now, how do I make money on my wine list? How do I maximize profits on my wine? Is what I'm going to answer right now. I've had my restaurant since 2003. So 17 years we're going on the restaurant here. And we have a great wine list, a fun wine list, interesting wine list. And we have about 200 wines. So my first philosophy is I never, ever, ever rely upon salespeople to write my list. I don't let Southern Glacier come in or any of the big guys come in and write my list. A lot of restaurateurs are like, oh, yeah, just write my list. I don't care. Just put stuff on and print it for me and this and that. Never do that, because they're selling you stuff they have to push, stuff that stores are buying, stuff that another restaurant's buying. And let's face it, the Southern Glacier, the guy has thousands and thousands and thousands of labels in that book. It's a massive book. They don't know what's in there, really. They don't know the gems. They're just pushing the stuff that they have to sell because the companies are coming down on them and saying, you need to sell more J. Lohr. You need to sell more Mondavi. You need to sell more Behringer. We got to get more placements of the new Behringer Merlot. So don't go buy the salespeople in these big companies. Work with small companies. Work a relationship, get in good with the sales rep, and have him show you some really cool, not so ordinary wines. You tell the sales rep, I don't want to buy wines from my wine list that are in the store. So I don't want to be able to a guest to walk out of my restaurant and the next day go buy a bottle of wine down the street. Like, man, I paid $10 a glass for that last night, and it's $8 a bottle here. Man, that restaurant ripped me off. That's what happens when you start buying the Mondavis, the J. Lohr's, all those big brands of wine. They're mass produced. They're in a lot of retail shops. They're case stacked, floor stacked. Don't get into that trap. I purposely walk into wine shops all around me to make sure I don't have what they have, because I want blind pricing. I want people not to be able to know the true cost of something, because that allows you to work buffers and better margins with your products. Now, when you use things that aren't normal, like we don't pour Sauvignon Blanc, we pour Vieira from Spain, or Verdejo, or a Greco de Tufo from Italy. We pour things that have similar acidity and characteristics as a Sauvignon Blanc maybe, but it's not Sauvignon Blanc. So we're educating our guests. Oh, if you like Sauvignon Blanc, you'll love this. Oh, if you like, I had somebody who wanted a big California Cabernet, this and that. I sold them Villa Cavaggio from Tuscany. Their single vineyard Cabernet was $77. I sold to them. They're like, oh my gosh. They wanted Opus One. Was what they wanted, Opus One. I sold them this. They're like, a third of the price. They're like, wow, this wine is amazing. I had no idea I could get this good a Cabernet from Italy. And they love me because I saved them $100, right? So now I look like the hero. But if I didn't have that, and if I had relied upon Opus One, the guy would have opened the book like any fine steakhouse or any other restaurant. I want the Opus One. I want the cake bread. Nothing wrong with cake bread. Nothing wrong with Opus One. But there's other wines out there that are smaller productions that have better margins that are going to save your guests money and make you more money. And that's the name of the game here. So, you want to try different varietals. Different great varietals are massive when you can educate your guests. Well, because they come back in all the time like, man, you gave me something for Sauvignon Blanc. You gave me this northern Italian Pinot Noir. What was that? That builds a rapport, builds a relationship with your guests. The number one selling wine in my restaurant, the number one selling wine is the wine the staff is excited about. Hands down. If you don't get your staff excited, they're not going to be able to sell. And if you're not going to get your staff excited, then yeah, go to the big brands. Sell the Kendall Jackson Chardonnay. Kendall Jackson's number one Chardonnay in America, right? Or sell the Yellowtail Shiraz, sell the Yellowtail Merlot. If you're not going to take time to work with your staff and taste them, sales reps will come in and do that for you, folks. You tell your sales rep, hey, let's do a staff training. I'm going to buy this wine from my wine list. Come in on a Saturday, Monday night, Wednesday morning, and let's do a staff training with the 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 wines you have on their list. Most salespeople will totally do that. They've done it for me for over the years, so don't think you have to train your staff on it. You don't have to, but get them excited about it. Another thing to sell more wine and make more money on your wine list is be able to give samples of wine to guests, all right? If a guest enjoys what's in their glass, they're going to order a second glass more likely than not, okay? So if I were to go to a restaurant and say, I'll take that Cabernet, and the Cabernet comes and it's just not a good Cabernet, it's not what I'm looking for, I'm not going to order a second glass. I'm not excited. But if there's something that's exciting my palate, activating my taste buds, and that I can't put down and I want another sip, I'm buying another glass much quicker. You're going to double your revenue right there. And here's the thing. Most guests have no idea what they want. Even guests that come to me that know a ton about wine, just as much about wine as me or more than wine, still have no idea what they want. They rely upon me to make suggestions. And if I say, you're going to try this rosé Pinot Noir from Austria, they're going to get excited about it and they're going to try it because I'm excited about it. So give your guests samples of the wines you have by the glass. It's as simple as that. Give them a sample. People are going to say, I want Cabernet. They don't want Cabernet. They want a Tempranillo. They just don't know. They don't know what to say. But by giving them a Cabernet and giving them a Tempranillo side by side, they're going to be like, oh, wow, I really like this more. If they really like it more, they're going to drink it more and order another glass quicker. You're going to make more money. You're going to maximize your profits. We all know what happens when you sell 2 glasses versus 1 glass or 3 glasses versus 1 glass. All right. It's simple mathematics. It's margins. Okay. That right there is huge. I also recommend having a bottle of reserve wine behind the bar. Very special bottle. Use a Coravon. Coravon is that needle that goes in. You don't open the bottle. Needle goes in, it has a cartridge in it, and give that guests, say, you know what, I happen to have a $100 bottle, $200 bottle behind the bar here. I want you to taste. Just give them a little taste. Makes them feel special. I do that all the time, constantly. I'm like, yeah, this is what I'm going to drink tomorrow, right? Like, oh, wow, you're going to drink that tomorrow. You'd be surprised. If you're drinking it, they want to drink it. By just having that one bottle there and doing a Coravon, giving them small little taste of something that's upper level reserve, people are going to say, well, I want that bottle. Well, I want the bottle now, or I want that bottle next time I come in for my birthday. Thank you, Marcus. I know about the bottle. I can't wait. Or I have a friend that's going to like that. So there's a lot of things that you can do. So again, to top this off, do not buy wine that your wine sale. Do not let a wine company do your list. Not becoming like Southern Glazer, at least, okay? Don't let the salesman come in and push you stuff they're pushing everywhere else. Walk into a store. Make sure you don't have the same brands back and forth. You don't want guests to compare because they feel ripped off. Every guest knows you're entitled to make money because that's what we're here for. We're entitled to make money. But when you shove it in their face, like, man, I could have bought that whole bottle for $8 and this restaurant charged me $10, they kind of feel gypped. Okay? That's what happens. You want to have such cool, kick-ass wines in your restaurant that they're going to want to go buy it in the stores. Then we're like, man, where do I buy this? How do I find this? Where do I buy that? And that's when you tell them, what store do you go to? I go to a store 45 minutes from here. All right. So have the owner call me and I will tell him what small distributor I buy it from so they can get you some. And that right there is like massive, massive, massive. They don't care at that point that, oh man, it's only 12 bucks a bottle. I paid 12 bucks a glass, because it's a small production, intricate wine that when they buy that wine and bring it home, they have bragging rights. Like, I found this at a restaurant and the owner called my shop owner locally and hooked me up and got this wine in. And there's this allure of this exclusivity of that. That right there goes a long way. All right. So give your guests samples of wine. Let them taste, because we all know that there's more money in 2 glasses than in 1 glass, or 3 glasses than 2 glasses. People will drink more of what they people drink more of what feels good, what tastes good. That's just simple. It's simple mathematics. It's simple economics. Okay, simple human behavior. People will do good what they have pleasure. Keep repeating what there's pleasure in, and if the wine is pleasurable, they'll keep repeating that process. Okay. All right. So hopefully those tips will help you maximize your profits on your wine list. And this can be done in any type of restaurant that has wine. I don't care if you're a burger joint that it's very casual and you think you need Kendall Jackson Chardonnay. If you don't have Kendall Jackson Chardonnay, if you have 2 other awesome little Chardonnays that are in that same price point, they're not going to order the Kendall Jackson. If you don't have it, they're not going to order it. Okay. Same thing with spirits behind your bar. Restaurants say we're dedicated to serving craft spirits, but then they have Absolute and Grey Goose on the bar. If you're dedicated, only do that. And I guarantee you, here's the thing. People don't understand. If you give a guest 2 tastes of something, 2 tastes of bourbons, 2 tastes of vodkas, 2 tastes, chances are most likely they're going to pick one. That's just what happens. That's human behavior. They're going to pick one. I like this one better. Good. Boom. I'll have that. So it's very easy to give taste. So just budget in that you're going to give tastes. All right. So hopefully those tips there help you maximize your profits on your wine list. You don't need to be a wine expert at all. I tell my staff I have 200 wines on the list. No 2 reds, 2 whites. By the bottle. So by the glass is easy, because you can give people taste all you want, and they'll pick something. But if they want to spend 80, 90, 100, 150 bucks, we'll learn 2 whites, 2 reds, and learn a rosé. Maybe a sparkling too, so 6. All right. And you're good to go. Simple as that. And whatever the staff is confident in selling, they're going to sell. Totally. And another big tip. It's always great to make people feel good. They want to fit in. This is psychology marketing. Psychology marketing, it's the best. If you sell a bottle of wine to somebody and they're 80 bucks, 90 bucks, 200 bucks, 30 bucks, whatever it is, if you sell them and say simple comments like, this is our best selling wine, things like that, reassure that the crowd is doing it and they're not alone. And people, that's a major psychology factor of people buying. People will copy the actions of others. And if you tell them this is my most popular wine by the bottle in this price point, they're automatically going to know, well, I'm going to love it because hundreds of other people love that bottle. Okay, so that's psychology marketing. All right, head over to my website, 50mistakes.com, 50mistakes.com, or restaurantgrowthsecretsuniversity.com to find out more tips like this, more videos like this. And folks, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you watching. Drop some comments and any questions. Thanks.